In this video, I wanted to share with you some turbo upgrade options for the Subaru WRX. Here's a factory WRX turbo that I modified. This is a TD04. As you can tell, this is a different variation. This is a TFO 35HM. It's basically the same as the TD04, besides that it has a special turbine, special bearings, and a different compressor wheel. The difference in the original turbine on this turbo originally is that it has a smaller shaft and smaller bearings to match. But anyway, the point is this turbo also is the same capability of upgrading as a stock TD04 turbo for the WRX. And what you can do with it is you can convert over to the TD04 bearings and the rebuild kit, the TD04 HL shaft, and the TD04 upgraded compressor wheel, which we use a 50 by 62 by 65 compressor wheel. The TD04 turbo that I'm showing you is good for around 375 horsepower at the most. We do use a 9-blade TD04 HL turbine wheel, which it does have to be machined, the turbine housing. And the factory turbine wheel is 41 millimeter by 47, and we increased that to 45 by 52 millimeter. The stock compressor wheel is, I think, 41 by 56, and then we machine that to the 50 by 62 by 65 billet compressor wheel, which is the same upgrade that we did for the Porsche Cheyenne and the Volvo 850 turbo upgrade. The great thing about upgrading the stock TD04 turbo is that you can make around 425 foot-pounds of torque with that turbo. But you can also buy a 16G, and that may be more appropriate depending on what you're trying to do. I would never upgrade this TD04 turbo if you're planning to use it on the 2.5 motor. We usually do use this turbo on the right, which is a TD05 H16G that we converted over to an SL2 20G. As you can see, I had to sleeve the compressor housing for a pipe, and I had to machine this cover about 3 or 4 times to make this work. Here's what the factory compressor housing looks like. Now this is on, I think, a JDM motor. So, or maybe I think it's the Canadian version or something. But anyway, what I had to do was cut that off, machine the front of the compressor housing, then sleeve it and machine a pipe to fit in that, and then I could grab it and CNC the compressor housing. The turbine housing, we usually use an SL2 turbine. This is a 9-blade version. We've had great results out of the 11-blade as well. And yeah, that's the main turbo that we build for the Subaru STIs or any of them with the 2.5 motor, because this is good for around 450 horsepower. And it's not overkill, like it spools up great for a 20G, and it's a much better upgrade than the factory turbo that the 2.5 motors come with, which is the VF52, I think. But anyway, so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I could do with these. The TD04 upgrade is the factory WRX upgrade, but you can toss that turbo and just have us build you a 16G or a 20G from scratch, because we do have all the parts to build those. That way you don't have to deal with that factory turbo anymore if you don't want to. But I went ahead and did this project anyway, because I just wanted to show you guys what is possible to do with the factory turbo. Now, this is not the only turbo upgrade option for your WRX. If you'd like to see more upgrade options, then you can watch a video that I made prior to this video, which is called Subaru Turbo Upgrade Options. And there's a whole lot more options when you go with the TD05 Turbo series, because once you go with the TD05 series, you can upgrade the compressor housing and the compressor wheel and turbine wheel all to much larger sizes. The largest compressor wheel we can go with is a 60.5 by 78 millimeter that tapers to 83, and the largest turbine we can go with this turbo is a 58.8 by 67.2 millimeter 9-blade turbine, which can put you over the 600 horsepower mark. If you watch my previous video, you saw that I did a GTX 3076R compressor, and a 25G compressor on a DSM. This upgrade is also the same for the Subaru. However, there are certain models that you cannot use that 3-inch compressor housing unless you go rotated, but it is an upgrade option and it can get you over 600 horsepower. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully everything that I explained here was helpful to you. One thing that I do want to mention is that the reason why we toss out those TD04 turbos if you want to go larger than 350 horsepower is because the upgrade options are not the same as TD05, TD06 series, because the bearing housing, turbine housing, and compressor housing are all different and they use completely different rebuild kits. Also on the TD05 series, we use an 8cm turbine housing for our base 16G turbo and with all our upgrades. So if you're interested in a turbo upgrade like this one or any of these that you see in this video, you can always contact me at turbolabamerica@gmail.com. And also, I'm planning to try and stock these, have my team build these for you guys. So once we get that all set up, I'll be sure to post the link here. If you don't see it in the description box, you can always email us.